I'm executive director of Women for America First, but I started the Stop the Steal Facebook group that went viral and had 365,000 people within 22 hours, and Facebook shut us down. When they shut us down, we were gaining 1,000 people every 10 seconds. So now we've taken the momentum and we've brought together a big coalition that everyone can find out about at stolenelection.us. And we have been in every state holding rallies, and we're not going to stop until every legal ballot is cast and every illegal ballot that was cast is thrown out. People are fired up, they're mad as hell, and they are fighting not only for President Donald J. Trump, that the ballot that they cast for him, but they're also fighting for the integrity of the election and for our Constitution. Who would have thought that, we're the Saturday after the election and we still have no idea why our votes are not being counted properly? We can put a man on the moon, but we can't, properly do elections in these different states, and each state has their own laws and their own rules that they have to follow, and we need to make sure that we're holding up the rule of law and that we're all that we're all following the United States Constitution.
I'm a Democrat, but I support Donald Trump. I put my country before my party, and what I see happening in the Democratic Party, supporting Antifa, supporting Black Lives Matter, who these groups not only burn, shoot, even kill people. I don't support violence. And not only that, when I see the Democratic Party want to muzzle and keep silence African Americans from voting for Donald Trump, or just thinking more than one party, just having independent thought. The bigotry in the Democratic Party is just unbearable. I just can't accept it anymore and remain silent. So I'm going to continue to show and expose the bigotry in the Democratic Party. Well, for example, at the largest precinct in the city of Atlanta, they held over at State Farm Stadium. When they were counting the ballots at 10:30 that night, they told all poll watchers that they were not going to count any more ballots, that they want everybody to leave, and they locked the doors. And for 3 hours, they went back to counting ballots. The law says that we have to allow for poll watchers to be there, be present, and monitor what is going on with the elections. That in itself was not a free election. It was not an election that existed without fraud. And so not only that, but the other things going on too.
My political experience has been lifelong. My mother's been a Democratic activist all of my life, but I never agreed with the Democrat platform. I ran for office in Georgia's 6th District, Congressional 6th District during the primaries, and I lost to Karen Handel. If Donald Trump lost legitimately, we would accept that. But we feel that our freedoms are at stake because we don't have a free and fair election based on this last election coverage. So that's why I'm here, to support the president and support our country. There's a software called Dominion that tabulated, there was a so-called glitch in the software, which it seems very suspicious that this software is only used in the swing states, and now we have evidence that it may be used in the state of California. Another thing is, how is it that when all of the ballots were brought in after the day of the election, that no stop the steal. Stop the steal. Stop the steal. Stop the steal. Okay, so no incumbent Republicans or Democrats lost their seats, but yet and all we seeing the seats flip for the presidency. It seems pretty suspicious, and it seems like it's mathematically and statistically impossible for the votes to fluctuate from President Donald Trump and Joe Biden and not to fluctuate from all the way down the ticket.
I'm here because I believe the country is literally in jeopardy. I've watched elections for many, many years. I'm over 50, and I've never seen anything like the obvious fraud that it seems to have been perpetrated here. We've had several states, Georgia included, where Trump was clearly ahead and the returns were coming in, and all of a sudden they shut down the count. And then miraculously the next day, hundreds of thousands of votes for Biden are suddenly found in Michigan and Wisconsin. Meanwhile, they've shut out people from Pennsylvania, and frankly, I'm not sure what's going on in Georgia exactly. I'm suspicious, but they've continued to find votes for Biden in Pennsylvania while no one can watch. So it's a broad, fraudulent scheme, it seems to me, best I can tell. The mail-in ballots were clearly a terrible idea, and then when you need the most transparency, they have forbidden Republicans in many states from watching the count. So I'm here in Georgia. You know, Georgia's fraud is going to have to be revealed. I'm suspicious of DeKalb and Fulton counties coming in late, delaying things just when it looked like Trump was ahead by a couple 100,000 votes. All of a sudden, one by one, hour by hour, all these votes come in for Biden. So I'm down here putting my voice with everybody else and saying, look, we can't let this happen. We cannot let this happen. If we let this election get stolen so blatantly, so obviously, so many votes, we'll never have another fair election. So we've got to stand up now. We've got to stand up now or we're going to lose the country. That's why I'm here.
All right, great. So
Well, we knew, I think most of us that pay attention knew in advance that the media was going to go all in with the narrative, that whenever the states could fraudulently present a quote Biden win, that the media would jump on it. So we've got to stand up and say, no, we're not going to take that narrative. We're not going to submit to that narrative. We're going to push back against that narrative. We're not going to let this happen. And the only way we can do that is with our voices and with our presence. And that's what we're going to try to add to the mix here now and as long as it takes.